this is another selfie-oop.
Oh,
Shout out producer Danny for coming up with that phrase.
How old are you, boy?
Well, Tyler Williams, Modesto Christian High School in NorCal. So, Paul, selfie-oop's better than alley-oop?
I like the selfie-oop unless you got the alley-oop from Giannis. Where you jumping over somebody.
Yep, well, then that's pretty good. I don't know. I like everyone's doing it now. It was a big deal when T-Mac did it back in the day. Now it's like,
super big deal. It was
whatevs.
Wow.
We can do it in high school. Welcome to The Jump. I'm Rachel Nichols. Our insider, Amin Al-Hassan, is back. Mr. NBA champ, Mr. Finals MVP, Paul Pierce, as well.
In the building. Let's go. Let's do this.
And he's feeling better about the Kansas loss over the weekend after seeing Monday night's game. So there you go. The Cavaliers and the Raptors play tonight in a game that's going to have a big impact on the top half of the Eastern Conference bracket. And since I am not, in fact, a fortune teller, I cannot lay out for you how that game is going to go. But here's something fun to look for. If the game is close at the end, which it might be, and LeBron has the ball in his hands, which he almost certainly will because LeBron, then keep your eye on the left wing. How comfortable is LeBron from that spot? Well, last week he drilled a 31-footer from there to ice what had been an awkwardly close game against Brooklyn. And if that looks familiar, well, maybe you're thinking of when he did it earlier this season against New York. Or, well, we can just keep showing you a lot of examples because LeBron is among the best in the NBA this season at hitting threes in the clutch. He's made 14 of them, and according to Spin Spectrum, 9 have come from that spot. But hey, this isn't even new. We rewind you to his Heatles days in 2014. This game winner versus the Warriors, you remember it? And yep, where'd he hit it from? Or remember Game 7 of the 16 finals? He gets the mismatch, draws the foul on the 3, then goes right back to the same spot 30 seconds later.
Festus, not twice.
Yeah. Sorry, Festus Ezeli. Of course, LeBron hardly the only player to have a go-to move. This season, James Harden has taken what was already a sledgehammer of his, the step-back 3, and made it downright cruel. Remember this one when he polished off his 60-point night against the Magic? Step-back 3. Or this one. Step-back 3.
He likes the Euros.
I'm not sure if it's the way Harden does it, just like a cat playing and toying with his prey before he eats it, or if it's just how often he hits it. Take a look at this chart. There's Harden's made step-back threes for the season. 92. Look how far behind everyone else is. And please note that Harden is shooting nearly 39% on those step-back threes. Want to know what Reggie Miller's overall three-point percentage was for his entire career? 39.5. So basically, Harden has been as good on those step-backs as one of the greatest shooters ever was on threes overall. Oh, and this is a good time to note the step-back 3 is Dame Lillard's favorite shot also. Remember the game winner against the Lakers? If you look at the past 5 seasons, only Harden and Steph Curry have hit more step-back 3s than Dame. Still, a player's go-to move doesn't have to be this super flashy. Chris Paul's elbow pull-up jumper, reliable as rain, especially after he snakes through a high pick and roll, right? CP, in fact, the best in the NBA at that shot. He hits 58% from there, and there's Giannis's Euro step. I mean, it just looks so much cooler when he does it, right? The move has helped him lead the NBA in paint scoring, even though he ranks outside the top 25 in post-ups per game, so that is significant. Ben Simmons, been developing that mini baby hook floater, right? And then there is Russell Westbrook. We were trying to figure out the best way to explain his go-to move, which is basically, you know, grab a rebound or steal and then barrel toward the basket as if his life depended on it, right? Coast to coast, baby. Look, the NBA is definitely a copycat league that leans deep into trends. But the great players remind us there is always more than one way to win a basketball game. And it is fun to watch what these guys do, what they do best. Paul, what is the most spot move for you?
Come on now.
My sweet spot was at that elbow, whether the right elbow or the left elbow. I try to get there because I knew I can get that shot off. And most of my game winners either came from the right elbow or the left elbow or the mid post. You know, those are my favorite spots. You know, I shot the 3 a lot, but it was nothing like going to the mid-range. You know, I really relied on the mid-range because I was very good mid-range, especially in the clutch. So, you know, that was my move right there, free throw line. That was money from there. That's money.
I asked our producers this morning, like, what they thought Paul was going to say was his, like, go-to sweet spot move, and it was, like, everything. That's what Paul thinks.
A little bit of everything.
Yeah, exactly. That's what made you such a good, confident player.
I had to step back also, you know, but James Harden just took it to another level.
Yeah.
You know, and by the way, what Paul's not talking about is his footwork, and that's not just him dribbling to a spot because he likes it. It's his footwork, his ability to create space. That's what makes it special. That's why he was so good at it. And a lot of these go-to moves, I don't think people realize the footwork involved. You can talk about Shaq's drop step. You can talk about Hakeem, the dream shake. The one I want to talk about is Steve Nash. Layups off the wrong foot.
Oh,
because
that was,
as a guy,
I like that.
undersized, coming down against shot blockers, he has to be able to get the shot off and kind of disrupt the timing. And
shot off the wrong foot.
that's just him showing off right there. But all of these layups right here, it caused problems for guys trying to time the contest.
Right.
Because basketball players, we all used to, guys, you go to left foot, right hand layup.
Exactly.
And Steve was switching it up and kind of doing opposite. And so, you know, laying up with the same hand that of the foot he took off of. And so that was just, it threw people off.
You know, it's funny, we don't even talk about the two greatest all-time go-to moves. Has to be the Kareem skyhook and the Michael Jordan fadeaway.
Yes.
I mean, we're talking about two of the top 5 players all time, and we don't even mention them.
Yeah, and look, we saw that some of the baby Lakers right now are trying to emulate Kareem's skyhook. We saw that on yesterday's show. So, right, Kyle?
Oh, yeah,
do it, right?
Yeah, Kuzma's
doing a little bit. But your point on the step-back three, Paul, I wonder, why is it that some players find that comfort zone when you had it, Dame Lillard has it, James Harden has it, and it feels like money, and then some players can't even do it?
Well, you know, a lot of the times the guys who shoot the step backs aren't the most athletic guys. You use your body well, you have footwork, you lean your shoulder into them, because when you're athletic, you know, guys rely on that. You just go straight up and jump over them. The step back is used to get the guy leaning one way, whether it's with the shoulder or with the footwork, and then creating the space and getting the shots up. And that's why you see Harden so effective with it and Dame Lillard.
So good.
And just really quick, all those things you talk about, even about MJ's fadeaway, even Kareem's skyhook, what I love about all these are all skill moves. These are all footwork and IQ. It's not because they're big and explosive and dunking on people. It was them using their knowledge of the game.
That was what was so fun about putting together the top of the show, because it's so much watching people play basketball really well.
A lot of go-to moves.
It's fun when there's no games the night before. We get to dig up all the stuff. It's good. All right, so as I mentioned, tonight the Cavs and Raptors face off for the last time in the regular season. Y'all remember, not that long ago, March 21st, the Cavs won by 3 thanks to that late trade from Kevin Love, set up by LeBron. Do you think, Paul, the Raptors players feel they need to make a statement in this game? Because remember, they scored the most points ever on a Cleveland team in that first half, and then the Cavs came back and said, so what, we're going to win the game.
You know what, the Toronto Raptors have to get this win just for their psyche. I mean, they have to say, like, look, man, we're tired of all the bullying that Cleveland is doing to us. We have to stand up for ourselves. Now, we're the #1 seed. We have home court advantage. Just for their psyche, they have to get this win. They have to know, like, look, we can play with these guys. Come on now. Enough is enough.
See, I disagree. I don't think it's this team that they need to win against.
I agree with him.
Yeah.
But just like mentally, you got to feel like, man, I'm tired of them beating me up.
They blew them out big time early in the year, like in January, before those trades happened.
Cavs would tell you that was a different team.
Okay.
They may or may not be right.
And then this last game, look, you can say they blew a big lead, but they were still good enough to be blowing them out, right? So I think.
What about in the playoffs? Playoffs are different.
Playoffs gonna be different.
That's where they got to see them.
Playoffs are gonna be.
That's where they got to see them.
Playoffs are gonna be different, but that's why I don't think this game is important because it's the Cavs. It's important because they only got a 2-game lead on the Celtics, and they play the Celtics on Wednesday. They have to win these games to solidify that 1 seed.
Right.
That's the importance right there. But to me, trying to prove something against the Cavs. Look, if they win, we're going to say, okay, do it in the playoffs. If they lose, say, I told you it's not good enough.
Just for yourself mentally. You got to be like, man, I'm tired of getting whooped on.
I'm tired.
They come in here and just do this every time.
When was the last time they got whooped on by the Cavs?
I mean, that was like a whooping. That was like a whooping. Like when you give up a 20-point lead at home, that's like a whooping.
Right? I mean, look, I do. You're right. The most important actual thing, and we talked about it this morning, is the 1 seed, and that's why they have to win. But it is hard not to see Paul's point because was it after, I don't remember if it was Kyle or DeMar out of the playoffs last year that was like, give us LeBron and we could try to win too. Like there is no question that there is a psyche issue in Toronto. Maybe it's just the fans.
I got your back, Canada. I got your back. They don't like y'all, but I like you.
Maybe it's just the fans and not the players, but the feeling of like, oh, here comes LeBron to beat up us on us again.
Right.
And so you don't want to be going into the playoffs with that having happen two times.
At least if you get a win, be like, look, y'all, you can go in that locker room after the game, be like, look, we can beat them.
Yeah.
Right.
We can
I
beat
think they already
them.
think
This is
that.
how we got to play to do it.
I think they already think that.
See, people do that in movies. Do people really do that in
I know I would
professional
do
locker
that. I'll
rooms?
do that. I would psych my team up. Like, come on now. We're better than this team. Come on now.
Eddie House
Put your
would do
big
that.
boy pants on.
Eddie
There you
House
go.
would do that too.
Coming up, how much pressure is there on Jimmy Butler to rush back onto the court? He just spoke within the hour. We will bring that up to you. And also, our distant replay, this date, 2004. Take a look.
Vince Carter.
Mavericks.
Jameson reels it in.
Okay, not Vince Carter.
Comes back to the
look at old time. This is pre-time. Yo, hold on. Dirk just dunked the ball. You know this is old. I thought it was because Steve was playing for the
That might have been
Mavericks.
Dirk's last dunk.
Yeah.
That could affect
His career.
You
The
get
rest of the time, he was just getting buckets.
30,000 points.
That was Joe, too, on the post.